What's up, fellow junkies, and welcome back. I am your host, Horror Junkies 519, and this video is not a video I was planning on doing. This is kind of a message I got from a fellow viewer saying, am I the slasher junkie or the horror junkie? I feel like he had a very good point because I look back, and everything I've done so far has been slasher related. So, that means I'm going to now go through all of my horror movies. Doing them just like my slasher collection revealed videos. This is the horror collection revealed. Like I did before, I'm just gonna go the 15-minute time limit, which is the YouTube time limit, not my time limit. I would love to do longer videos for you guys, but this is just how I can do it so far. So I got my stack ready to go. As I'm going through these videos, I'd like you guys to see if there's something as far as horror movies or slasher movies that I'm missing. If there's a classic movie that you guys feel like I need to have, or if there's something that I need to definitely get my hands on, let me know. Leave me a comment, leave me a message, let me know what you guys think, because I'd love to get more horror movies. I got one of my updates coming up. I got about 15 DVDs stacked high for my first update video. I got one more coming in the mail that I want to have in this review, so I'm kind of waiting for that, so it might still be probably a couple weeks, because it's coming from miles away. But you guys, so that's my little update for this video, so we'll kind of get going. Alright, starting off, because I just got all these alphabetized. Alphabetizing's fun. I used to work at a video store. 28 Days Later. This is a kind of a new age zombie movie. Not really zombies necessarily. It's kind of like a rabies virus. First time I watched this movie, I watched the beginning of it, turned it off, didn't think I was going to care much for it. So people kept telling me to watch it again. I watched it again, finished it. I love this movie now. It's definitely one of my classic movies when I'm looking for a zombie-ish, zombie-esque movie. Also has a sequel coming up, is 28 Weeks Later. Good continuation, doesn't continue from that story at all. It's got different people, different situation, still the same vibe, still same country, I believe. So, all in all, as far as the sequel goes, I would say this is a very good sequel for continuation. And I hear they're working on number 3. Whether or not that's true or not, I don't know the status of it, so I'm not really helpful there. Up next, 30 Days of Night. This is a great vampire movie. The premise of this movie is amazing. The atmosphere on it, I love it. It's based in Alaska during that time of year where Alaska's dark, 30 Days of Night, or most of the year, whatever. But I think that's such a good premise for doing those ums again, man. It's a great premise for a vampire movie. Let's see if I can spit this out. It's getting hard. But like I said, good premise for a vampire movie. Once the lights go out, vampires are free to reign. I thought that was a very great premise. So there's a sequel to it I haven't gotten my hands on yet. Something I'm interested in. Continuing on to 2001 Maniacs. This is starring Robert Englund. We all know him as Freddy Krueger. And if you don't know who Freddy Krueger is, man, get out there, live a little. He's definitely one of the greatest slashers of all time. But Robert Englund in this movie, it's kind of a slasher movie. Some kids come into the town that they're in. They think everything's hunky-dory. They're having like a festival. Then all of a sudden they start getting murdered. But it's done by a bunch of different people, so it's not to me to be a slasher. Because I usually think slasher movies being one killer, killing everybody. But it's to everyone's choice, I guess. This next one, some of this stuff is not all particularly horror movies that I'm showing off. Some of them are going to be horror-esque, or they're going to have an actor that's predominantly horror, so I'll throw their movies in there anyway. I hope you guys have heard of this man, Bruce Campbell. This movie is Alien Apocalypse. This movie is purely fun, ridiculous Bruce Campbell-ness. If you guys know what to expect from a Bruce Campbell movie, this is exactly what this one is. I enjoy this movie very much. Bruce Campbell's one of my favorite actors of all time, so I usually pick up just about anything I can get my hands on with him. This is kind of one of those based on true events movies. The Amityville Horror. Pretty much everyone's heard of this movie. I like this movie a lot. Haven't seen the remake of it, so I can't say much about that. But everyone's always like, Kyle, you're gonna love it. The little kid in the movie loves the band Kiss. And I'm just like, just because he's a Kiss fan doesn't mean I'm gonna like a movie. But I've been getting such mixed reviews, I think there still might be a chance that I will watch it someday. So, hopefully. Moving on, give you a little story. I'm always into big killer snake movies, like the original Anaconda. I don't have that one at this moment. I'm working on the one with Ice Cube. I like that movie. But this This is the second one. It's called Anacondas, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid. Another killer snake video. If you've seen killer snake videos, you kind of know what to expect. I enjoy these movies. I enjoy looking at snakes. I'm afraid of snakes, but I like looking at them through the TV screen. That's pretty much what I can say on that topic. Next up, Apollo 18. This movie is the movie that made me realize I like space horror movies. This is a great movie. It's kind of one of that premise, going on a space mission that no one's going to know about. You're not going to be on the ledger or anything. No one's knowing about this. They go to space. Some bad things are going on. There's kind of these creatures out there that are getting killing. They find a Russian spaceship out there, and they start to realize that something's not right, and it's kind of taking them over as well. Definitely one worth giving a watch. I enjoyed Apollo 18 a lot. Moving on to one of my favorite movies. This is another one of those that's not exactly a horror movie, but it's definitely got the horror elements. Army of Darkness. This movie is such a classic. Another one with the main man, Bruce Campbell, in it. This is the third installment of the Evil Dead trilogy. And if you guys like Evil Dead, you guys are going to love this movie. Like I said, it's got great one-liners. It's more of a comedy movie, but man, it's so quality. I'm actually trying to pick up a lot different copies of this movie just because I love all the features that each one gets. Hopefully I won't blow all my money on Army of Darkness, but we'll see what happens. Moving up to, I don't know if you guys are into those movies where the whole the whole movie's based in one spot, but I'm kind of into those movies. Like, I don't know if you guys seen Phone Booth. This is one like that. It's called ATM. Great thriller movie. I enjoy this movie. If you guys are one of the Nickelodeon kids, Josh Peck is in this movie. He definitely I enjoyed this movie, watching him get tormented a little bit. IFC Midnight. Good stuff. Moving on, you guys, to a zombie movie that kind of surprised me a little bit. Definitely kind of had a different basis than most other zombie movies. Brought to you by the Bloody Disgusting Selects. So this one's called Ransbach Berlin Undead. This is a very short movie at 63 minutes, so it's not going to waste too much of your time if you don't like it. But it's worth a watch if you're into the zombie movies, which most people at this day and age are because of The Walking Dead. Everyone became a zombie fan. Used to just be a very prestigious club. Alright, another one of these movies that one of my favorite people, my favorite actors are in, so all his movies usually end up in the horror. This guy plays Jason 4 times in the Friday the 13th series. Kane Hodder. This movie is called Bind, Torture, Kill, the BTK Killer, based on true events. Kane Hodder, I was very happy to see this movie come out because finally you get to see him act outside of full-on makeup like he would do in Jason and Hatchet as Victor Crowley. Nice to see his face in a movie, so I really enjoy this movie. Whether, based on true events, how close is it to the real thing, nobody knows. But all around, I enjoy that movie. Kind of slow. Next is another Bruce Campbell movie. Probably one of the better ones. I like them all, but Bubba Hotep. This is probably one of his best movies ever made. It's pretty strictly comedy, but it definitely, if you watch it, you will definitely see the horror mixes it's got. It definitely has a horror feel to it. So I definitely put it in here. And Bruce Campbell's the man. As if you guys haven't figured that out yet, he's one of my favorite actors. Bubba Hotep. Definitely pick it up if you guys get a chance. Quality stuff there. Next one. This is has no tones of a horror movie. Has nothing to it, but it's got Bruce Campbell in it. From the show Burn Notice. This is the Fall of Samax. Not really into the show that much. I haven't watched that much of it because I wanted to see what I thought of this first before I got into it. I'm very into this movie. Watching Bruce Campbell in this movie, he's just so flawless in this movie. I enjoy watching this one. And as he's getting older, he's just getting better. He's just aging so flawlessly in acting and as being himself. I enjoy watching him just be himself. Next one, another kind of bloody, disgusting kind of movie, but definitely more of a classic than it used to be. Cabin Fever. This movie's kind of got the premise of you drink the water, you get sick, you got a flesh-eating disease. But there's something that makes the water go bad. So this one kind of feels like almost like a remake of, not remake, but a continuation of Detroit Rock City, because 2 of the actors are in this movie as well. Not really have any connection, obviously, but I like this movie. If you like your bloody, disgusting movies, of course I do. Up next is the sequel, Cabin Fever 2, Spring Fever. This was kind of based in a prom. some kids are using the water, the diseased water, for their punch in prom, so everything kind of goes off like the first one did. Everyone's getting sick. Like I said, it's disgusting, but I enjoyed it. Doesn't get a lot of good reviews from people, but I enjoyed that movie pretty well. Ooh. Carrie, the original Carrie. This has been the only Carrie movie I've seen since I first saw this movie. I don't need anyone but Sissy Spacek. That's my Carrie right there, you guys. I've never seen the original. I don't need to see Hit Girl do it. This movie's such a classic. Who needs a remake? Also with John Travolta. If you guys haven't seen Carrie, you guys, it's a classic, and it's one of those, well, like, your friends will shake your head. It's like, you haven't seen that movie? Yeah, it's one of those, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Next up, Chillerama. This is a movie I feel like I have to show everybody, because it's just so good and no one's ever heard of it. This is an anthology film from 4 directors. Adam Green, who did Hatchet. Joey Lynch, who I believe did Wrong Turn 2. If I'm wrong, apologize, don't burn me down or anything. Adam Rifkin and Tim Sullivan, all 4 of them did their own story to put this all together, kind of a throwback to the drive-in movies. Very cool. I enjoy this movie very highly. They're a little bit weird, but some of the stories are tougher to get through than others, but all in all, I like them a lot. Another anthology film from Troma. Now, if you don't remember, there's no such thing as a good Troma movie. I don't believe that personally, because I like a lot of Troma. This is another anthology film called Chillers. I need to revisit this one. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember liking it. Obviously, it's still in the collection. It had sticking around power, so that's cool. We'll stick with it. Up next is one of my movies I heard about so much that I couldn't wait to get it. Someday I eventually got it. This movie is called Chud. This is suffix for cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. This movie is such a classic, and when I first watched it, I just knew what everyone was talking about. I've watched so many reviews on this before I got it. I like this one a lot. I recommend it. There's a sequel to it, but I guess it doesn't have anything to do with this first one. No one knows why it's Chud 2, so I think that's kind of funny. And this one, first Blue Underground, probably in the horror movies so far. This one's called The Church. This is, if you guys are into your deep, dark, satanic horror movies, this is definitely one for you. There's a point where a demon's having his way with a woman in this movie, and I knew my fate was kind of sealed when I saw this movie, what I was getting myself into, but that's an evil one. But it's quality horror. I will say that. Up next, another Blu-ray. Blue Underground, City of the Living Dead. Zombie movie. Definitely a different take on a zombie movie that I've never seen before. I really enjoy this movie. If you guys haven't heard of Lucio Fulci, great director. I could ramble off probably 3 or 4 of his movies right now, but I don't want to get into that because then I'm going to mix them up with other movies and I'm going to look like an idiot. I'm not really going for that one. So, but like I said, City of the Living Dead, another great one. You guys can't go wrong with that stuff. Some more anthology movies, but these are the classic of classic anthology movies. A lot of people I know have seen these ones. These are by George A. Romero and Stephen King. Creepshow. These movies are so classic at this point. There's like about 3 stories in each one, and each time I watch them, I just enjoy them even more. Like, they haven't gotten old to me after so many years. Definitely quality stuff. Up next, after that, is Creepshow 2. Same kind of situation. 3 new gruesome tales of horror. I love this stuff, man. These anthologies, it's tough to get a good anthology sometimes, but these Creepshows, there is a number 3. I do not recommend that one. I haven't even watched it. No one watches that movie. It's just horrible. I've seen parts of it, actually. Oh, Lord. And it embarrassed me. It was that bad. But, you guys, that's going to be my first video for this stuff. So, hopefully you guys will join me in my horror collection revealed, just like my slasher collection revealed. I also want to start doing videos of, showing off some of my memorabilia. Like, I got a full Friday the 13th hockey mask collection. I got a hockey mask from every single movie that Jason's been in. So I think that would be really cool to show that off. If that's something you guys are interested in, let me know. Like I said, you guys, if there's anything slasher, horror that I'm missing as far as movies, let me know. And I'll run out and grab it. And who knows, might be on our next episode of The Gory Details, which will probably be this weekend, hopefully. So I hope you guys come and join me. This is your host, Horror Junkies 519, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. I'm signing out.